They aren't taking chances with one party or the other. They're
they sprinkle the money around equally.
Right.
That's right.
Let me just make one more quick point.
Go ahead,
I don't want to stay on as long as the Texas guy, but one point that I'd like to remind your listeners. Oh, would you again cite that book that you just got through citing, the one about the rights or the ritual?
Yeah, it's called Reckless Rights. Reckless Rights, and the author's Elliot Horowitz. 2 L's, 2 T's, and Elliot Horowitz. Horowitz.
Okay.
Did you want to hang on for the break, Ron?
I will if you want me to.
Yeah, please, go ahead. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to the break. Talking with Ron from Oklahoma. This is Michael Collins Piper. Stay tuned for more. All right, welcome back. Michael Collins Piper getting ready to wrap up this hour. We've got Ron from Oklahoma aboard. Ron, come on up.
Okay, I'd like to just make a point about the difference. You were talking about the Mel Gibson thing and about the Talmud, and it's such an interesting contrast, this Amish assassinations last week where some crazy guy kills a whole bunch of little Amish girls.
Yeah, horrible.
Yeah, terrible. But the interesting thing is their reaction. The Amish, being real Christians, not George Bush-type Christians or Pat Robertson-type Christians or Franklin Graham-type Christians who want to go kill everybody. But these people, their whole thing was forgiveness. And they don't, people have been sending in millions of dollars to these people. And what they do with it, did they keep it for themselves? No. What they did was if you can believe it, they're giving that money to the wife and the family of the guy who killed the kids.
Isn't that interesting?
Isn't that phenomenal? And then compare that to the Jews then, who, can you imagine if this same kind of thing would have happened to them, how they would have used that and milked it for everything it was worth?
Well,
it had nothing to do with anti-Semitism. You better believe that if a Gentile did it, all of a sudden he was a skinhead and blah, 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 and it would be the new Holocaust all over again.
Well, after Hurricane Katrina, I was just absolutely amazed to read in Jewish newspapers how after many, many Jewish people had given money to Jewish charities for helping the people who suffered in Hurricane Katrina, many of those Jews were demanding that the money not be given to non-Jews.
Sure.
Now, isn't that interesting? I mean, all these people in all these Christian churches around the country and people giving money to the Red Cross, they didn't specify where they wanted the money to go, but it was a major uproar in the Jewish community, debated in Jewish newspapers as to whether or not that Jewish charity money should go to anything other than Jews. Now, where is the hatred? This is right out of the Talmud.
Well, and what about this recent deal where the Jews now are suing a French railroad? Have you heard that one?
No, tell me about it.
Oh yeah, it's in the news now. The Jews are suing a French railroad because supposedly this French railroad transported Jews to German concentration camps. So they're suing them now for damages. Can you believe that one?
Well, yes, I can. Unfortunately.
Now, the interesting thing to me is, Christians are such weird suckers. And here, the Jews are going after every art piece that was supposedly stolen from them by the Nazis, whether they have any proof of ownership or not. But if it ended up in the hands of the Germans, then obviously the only people exploited were the Jews, and it belongs to them, so they want all those things. The interesting thing is, why is it that the Russian Orthodox Church has not gone after trying to reclaim all of those artifacts that were ripped off from Russia after the Jewish Bolsheviks took over, confiscated all of those icons and all of those gold crosses and stuff, sent them to their Jewish friends in the United States, their art dealers, to sell for, when they got them, it was pennies on the dollar. How come, the Christians don't do the same thing and go after reclaiming all of those artifacts and getting them back from the people that the Jews sold them to?
Well,
because all of that is traceable.
Maybe people should start doing that.
Well, they should, but they, they're too into forgiveness, where the Jews are into getting theirs.
Getting what they can get.
Yeah. Well,
right.
Have a nice one,
Ron,
Michael.
thanks for your call. Apologies to those we couldn't bring up. Tomorrow night, Jim Condit. Wednesday night, John DeNugent. Very interesting discussion. Thursday, we're going to talk about the traitors in America today. You name them. Here, live on RBN. Because you can handle the truth. Thanks for listening in, folks. Thanks for your calls. Have a good evening.
The Bill of Rights protects every American's God-given right to keep and bear arms. Now that right is being seriously undermined as legally registered rifles are being confiscated in some parts of our country. If we're not careful, we may find ourselves with no right to own guns. And that's where Gun Owners of America comes in. Gun Owners of America is in Washington every day fighting for you to keep that right. Congressman Ron Paul has called GOA the only no-compromise gun lobby in Washington. You need to be part of this great grassroots group of activists who are keeping the heat on their members of Congress. Find out right now how you can join. Call 888-886-GUNS and get started receiving their fact-filled newsletters and action alerts. Call 888-886-GUNS or go to their webpage at gunowners.org and help make your voice heard in Washington. Make that call right now and call Gun Owners of America at 888-886-GUNS. Remember, it's not just about gun control, it's about control.
You're listening to RBN, the Republic Broadcasting Network. RBN Live.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Michael Collins.